This podcast is brought to you by the Prospect Research Institute, where researchers come to learn, innovate, and connect. Welcome to the Prospect Research Chat Bites member series. I'm Jennifer Filla. Today, I'm talking with Research Connector member Sandy Montgomery. She is the Senior Specialist and Prospect Research and Tracking Manager at the Summa Health Foundation. Hello, Sandy. Thank you for joining me today on Chat Bites.
Hello, Jen. Thank you for having me. I'm so excited to be here with you.
It's been wonderful to get to know you at the Institute's master classes, and I'm wondering if today you'd be willing to share, how did you get into prospect research?
Wow. Well, that's an interesting question. I actually started my career prior to that in financial aid at a major university in Ohio. I was the scholarship director, so I oversaw all the scholarships for our 8 campuses. In doing that, I realized the need for scholarships, which of course came from our donors. So I decided to transfer over and become part of the fundraising team. In doing so, I found a job as prospect manager, which used a lot of, my skills from having an MBA and all of that. So a lot of my skills, of course, they were transferable. And I started by becoming a prospect manager for the university, where I oversaw the pools of roughly, we had anywhere from, at any time, from, I would say, 35 to 40 development officers. And in doing that, I also learned that I also had a love of research. And at one point, Summa came to me and asked me if I'd be interested in a job that they had posted. And I looked into it, and it was combining not just prospect management that I was doing, but also prospect research. And it was allowing me to do both. So I applied, it worked out, I came to Summa, and that is when I really began doing research. So that would have been 2015. So I've not been doing prospect research for very long, about 4.5 years. I've been doing prospect management a lot longer, almost 8 years. So that is my background.
That's pretty wild. You went from giving away money essentially to
Yes.
fundraising to get money.
Yes.
That's great. That's a good perspective.
Yes. I saw the need and wanted to be a part of that.
Well, I'd like to jump into my 3 questions for you.
Sure.
I'm curious, what are 3 of your favorite resources that keep you current in fundraising and prospect research?
Besides the Research Institute and all that I've learned in the master's classes?
Yes.
Okay. Well, I have learned a lot because, as you know, like I said, prospect research was nothing I was trained in. So I've had to rely on a lot of resources. And with that, I also, at times in my job here at Summa, I also do a lot with the web, with our CRM. So we use Razor's Edge. And so Blackbaud is one of my main sources for any questions I have as far as how to capture the information that I find out so that it's captured in a way in RE that is easy for me to pull out and use when I'm doing prospect meetings and things like strategy meetings, things like that. Apra, of course, is a great resource. I've been to 2 Apra conferences over my years in this, and they have a wealth of information. I've met some people, and also the Apra website has a lot of interesting information on there. An advisory board. Advisory board is something that our organization belongs to, and we use it for a lot of things. I'm able to find, some good questions and a lot of answers on advisory board, coming from different perspectives, be it, a grateful patient program or, an employee program, things like that. So it gives me different perspectives.
Wow, I'd never heard of advisory board before, but is that focused primarily on healthcare?
You know what? I believe it is. I can't speak totally on it. It is something our organization belongs to. I do know it's quite expensive, and we use it. It answers a myriad of questions for us, but I use it for questions when it comes to, like I said, prospecting, especially different ways to do some of our different programs, such as Grateful Patient or a special program like a white coat and things like that. Because my job is not just management and research here because we are a small shop. So I have to kind of get answers for many different areas.
Great. Well, great resources you've got. So, on to question number 2. I'm wondering what book, and this could be on any topic, that you recommend that everyone should read.
Well, it's funny. I was looking for the book I have here. Hold on, because I didn't write it down. It's the Helen Brown Prospect Research for Fundraisers. It was given to me when I started doing research here at Summa, and I have it all marked up. And it's just one that it gave me a good overview. So I would say for anyone beginning, whether you want to learn about, research, how to find different things, it's very basic because I learned much more about how to find wealth, properties, stocks, things like that through our master classes. But this is a great starting point, and it gives a good background on everything. Like I said, from research to, even how to capture some information, as well as, maybe some relationship management and prospecting.
Cool. Well, I'm thrilled that you are finding value in that book. That's wonderful.
Yeah, like I said, I was pretty new to the research part of it. So this was a great gift to have been given.
Wonderful. Okay, well, question number 3. How do you manage FOMO, which is the fear of missing out in our hyper-connected digital world? We have this fire hose of information coming at us. How do you manage that?
We do. And I'm not sure it's exactly FOMO, fear of missing out. It's more of fear of finding too much because, I go down that rabbit hole just like I believe everybody does. So for me, it's more on that end. It's trying to manage my time with researching as many prospects as possible. But sometimes you go down that rabbit hole and I'm just finding too much information, if that's such a thing.
It can be, for sure.
Yes, yes. So I don't really have the fear of missing out. I'm just now getting back into my role as prospect researcher and prospect manager with the foundation, because over the past couple of years prior to that, I was, also the office manager, and I helped with gift processing and all the events and everything like that. So I guess I kind of got away from all that's out there. So I quite haven't gotten back into that, but I'm sure once I'm, as I'm getting back into this, it's only been a couple months, I'll be looking into more and more online platforms and blogs and things like that to find information. So FOMO may come back, but right now it's the fear of finding out too much.
I love it. That's great. And it sounds like you have been very focused and highly productive by, kind of not putting blinders on, but staying right with the tasks that you need to do.
Yeah, and I believe that's allowed me to move forward with a couple of projects that we had started a few years ago, and I was able to finally see those through. Is it okay if I do a plug here for Apra coming up this summer at
Sure.
At the Apra conference? I will be speaking on peer review and using our volunteers to help us bring new people into the fold. So, our peer review process is something that I'm very proud of and been able to focus on. And even with all of my changes in my roles, and the other roles I'd taken on, that peer review was always allowed to remain a focus because our leadership saw the importance of it and what we could get out of it. I'll be speaking on that at Apra in August.
That's awesome. I am going to be there too, and I can't wait to
Yay!
hear your session.
Oh, it'll be I'm so excited because this will only be my third Apra conference. And I will say the first one, I was like a deer in the headlights. It was overwhelming. The second one, I got a lot of information out of, and this one I'm actually a part of. So I feel like I keep moving forward.
That's fantastic. Well, thank you so much for sharing with me and with the audience today. I really appreciate it, Sandy.
Well, thank you, Jen, and thank you for having me.
That was Research Connector member Sandy Montgomery. She is Senior Specialist and Prospect Research and Tracking Manager at the Summa Health Foundation. And fear not, you can find hyperlinks to all her favorite resources in the show notes, including information about her presentation at the Apra conference on peer screening. And if you don't know what peer screening is, your hint is that it was pretty much the only tool available to prioritize prospects before the advent of the internet and the acceleration in information technology. It was when you used real peers to rate and prioritize prospects.
Hey there! If you enjoyed this member interview, you have to come check out the Prospect Research Institute's learning community. It's a membership community with incredible people, great discussions, and comprehensive courses. Check it out at member.prospectresearchinstitute.org. I'd love to have you join me as a member. I'll see you there.